15 minutes before the Stanley Cup freaking finals. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The Boston Bruins have acquired Mark Kastelic, Joonas Korpisalo, and a 2024 first-round pick, 25th overall, from the Ottawa Senators in exchange for Linus Ullmark. Ullmark has just been traded, everybody, and it comes to us literally 15 minutes before... I was gonna say puck drop. No, not puck drop. Right now, I'm recording this audio, it's 5:07 p.m. We know it's not puck drop yet. It takes like half an hour for the program to actually begin and for the game to start. But the programming, everything, the pregame, it's all on right now. We'll get the anthems. That's gonna take another 5 minutes or whatever. But while we have this lull in space, we have ourselves a trade. Boston has traded away Linus Ullmark. Sorry, everybody. No more hugs for you after the wins. But this was a move that I think a lot of people saw coming. The Sens have been linked to Ullmark for months. They needed goaltending support. You had Joonas Korpisalo going the other way. He absolutely stunk this previous season. .890 save percentage, 55 games played, a .327 goals against. And the unfortunate part about it is, none of the other Ottawa Senators goalies were any better. Anton Forsberg, 30 games played, an .890 save percentage, .321 goals against. You had Matt Sogard step in here. In relief, .859 save percentage in 6 total games played. This entire team was just down in the dumps, so down bad when it comes to the quality of goaltending that they had gotten. And you can even see from the point totals, a lot of these guys declined a little bit. I'm not going to go out there and say I'm all too concerned about the long-term projectability or whatever of Brady Tkachuk or a Tim Stützle. These guys had 70 points. They'll get 80, 90, maybe even 100 next season. In Stützle's case, they're good enough to do that. But everybody on this team ended up having some sort of a down year, especially those goaltenders. So for Joonas Korpisalo to go back the other way to Boston as the official backup to Jeremy Swayman with 25% salary retained, it makes sense if Ullmark is going the other way to the nation's capital. Now let's do the math right here because okay, yeah, $4 million a year for Linus, or excuse me, not for Linus Ullmark, for Joonas Korpisalo. 25% salary retained, so you cut it in half and you cut it in half again. That's a $3 million goaltender till the end of 27-28 on the payroll for the Boston Bruins. That's not that bad. Of course, I mean, if Korpisalo has an .890 save percentage, then that's pretty bad, I'd say, but of course, you expect Korpisalo to be able to bounce back. He had a .913 save percentage in 28 games with the Blue Jackets last year, a .921 save percentage in 11 games with the Kings last year, too. You know the entire Cam Talbot-Korpisalo swap that we had talked about last summer? Yeah, that happened. And now, Korpisalo, playing in Ottawa, had himself probably the worst statistical season of his career. Yeah, it is. .890 is a lot worse than .894, .897, .897. Even the 920s over here. He had a .920 save percentage in 2015-16. Man, Joonas Korpisalo used to be a beast. But at 30 years old, he's totally not out of it yet. He's still got NHL games ahead of him. The Boston Bruins are hopefully not going to put him in a position to split the load evenly with Swayman, do the entire Linus Ullmark thing, 41 games to 41 games. Korpisalo, he'll probably get a sample of, let's just say, 25 to 30 games if everybody remains healthy and you project Swayman to be getting that 60-ish game mark, maybe 55 if you wanted to be a bit more conservative there. So this helps the Boston Bruins form a little bit more of a stable goaltending duo, and I just say stable as in like, oh, you know what roles are what roles. Like, everything is equally defined. You know that Swayman is the starter. You know that Korpisalo is the backup. None of this, oh, who's the starter, who's the backup goaltender controversy like we had sort of debated with ourselves existed over the past 2 years or so. Let's go out there and talk about the other assets here, because Linus Ullmark, of course, Vezina-winning goaltender from last season, a 1.89 goals against average and a 9.38 save percentage in 22-23. This previous season, a 9.15 save percentage and a 2.58 goals against in 40 games played. He kind of crapped the bed twice in a row in the playoffs, but then again, I don't think the Ottawa Senators nor their fans care too much about playoff success at this point. For goaltenders, if they make the playoffs, then everybody is happy in Ottawa, right? But either way, Ullmark has been a very consistent regular season goaltender. 905 in 2018-19, 915 in 2019-20, 917 in back-to-back years with the Buffalo Sabres and Bees. And then the .938 save percentage, the Vezina winning save percentage that he had last year. Just an absolute monster of a goalie, especially in the territory of the NHL nowadays when it's like, yeah, goals are up so many percent compared to 10 years ago. So he's a valuable guy. There had to be some stuff going the other way. It starts out with this 2024 first-round pick, 25th overall. So the Bruins are getting themselves yet another first-round pick. I am kind of confused. Where does that pick come from? Because obviously the Ottawa Senators themselves did not finish in the 25th overall spot. And why is Tankathon not loading? Let's go out there and do cap-friendly drafts. Oh, there you go, Tankathon. Thank you very much. So, Boston, Ottawa, yeah, okay, that's kind of odd. Where did that pick come from? I'm kind of confused. I should have had this open beforehand. I am so sorry. Oh, cap-friendly. I'm going to miss you so much. But there you go. That's what it is. The Boston Bruins had the Tyler Bertuzzi trade in March of 2023, and then you had yourselves this pick from Detroit getting sent over for Alex DeBrincat, and then the Senators sent it back to them. Okay, so Boston is getting their own first-round pick back from Ottawa via Detroit from Boston. That's kind of nuts. Tyler Bertuzzi trade, then you had the DeBrincat trade, and now you have the Ullmark trade. So this pick is getting swapped around like hot candy, and everybody is getting the rounds at owning this pick at some point or another. The Boston Bruins hopefully going to be able to use it here and actually get themselves a valuable piece because they kind of need the young future assets. Now, speaking about assets, they did get themselves another player in this trade. Mark Kastelic is going over to Boston. He's not really the most important nor significant player, but he is an interesting bottom six caliber option, 25 years old, 6'4", 209, right-handed center, big dude, face-off specialist as he's listed out here on Elite Prospects. He was a former 2019 draft pick by the Ottawa Senators, who eventually developed in the WHL and found himself in the NHL. He had 10 points in 63 games played this most recent season. Not really the biggest needle mover, but he is a guy. We know the Boston Bruins need centers. We know they're going to be in the market for a guy like Elias Lindholm, for example, in free agency. So if you had the rest of your center core rounded out, you wanted Kastelic in the bottom of your lineup, you wanted Charlie Coyle and Pavel Zacha in the middle six, and then maybe have a guy like Lindholm on your first line. That seems like a pretty alright center core. It's a tad better than what they had this previous season, and I only say a tad better just because, I mean, Elias Lindholm, say what you want about him. I don't know if he's necessarily a first-line center caliber option, but he's a lot better than Zacha or the other guy over there, Charlie Coyle, in my opinion. Just slightly, though. I mean, Lindholm had 80 points playing with Tkachuk and Gaudreau, so you can't really go out there and dismiss him too bad. But Mark Kastelic is heading over to the Bees as well. This is your final trade. 2024 first-round pick, 25th overall. The Boston Bruins are getting it back from the Ottawa Senators. Korpisalo at 25% salary retained, so with $3 million AAV, and Mark Kastelic in exchange for a Linus Ullmark heading over to the Ottawa Senators. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this huge blockbuster trade that has occurred like half an hour before the 2024 Stanley Cup Finals Game 7. We got to get back to our television screens, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this trade. We'll make another video after the Oilers and Panthers game, but for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. 99, and bye.